Skate America, the penultimate event in the Grand Prix, means we have to start doing math for the last spots in the final. Don't feel like doing math? Me neither, but I got you. Hello, hello! So, who has qualified to the final already? Ilya Malinin from the US and Shun Sato from Japan. Yuma Kageyama and Adam Siahinfa will likely qualify in Finlandia, while Lukas Brycki is in the waiting. Three men could make their bid in the USA this week. Mikhail Shaidorov, Daniel Grasul, and Kazuki Tomono. Mikhail finished third in Cup of China. His greatest asset are his jumps, which were smaller than earlier this year. His programs could be better. He is not a strong performer, so he needs something to hide his weaknesses. However, if he skates at the level he did at 4 continents and worlds, the crown will easily be his. Obviously, the best way to qualify to the final is by winning. The second best way is outskating both Daniel Grasul and Kazuki Tomono. Kazuki finished just out of the podium in Saskatoon, behind Kao. A win here would not only classify him to the final, but would also make him a good candidate for the Olympics. Don't let him fool you with a great short. The free is Kazuki's nemesis. In Canada, he almost fell in his spin. His spin! Focus, Kazuki, focus! Out of the three, the man who has it easier, as always, is Daniel Grasul. A second place here almost guarantees him the entrance to the club. Highly feasible when the judges rarely call your edges and under rotations, plus give you extra points whenever you throw your head back. He can always bomb and open the doors for someone else. That would be very nice of him. This lineup does not line up with me. I don't expect much from this man. Kazuki, you are the only one who I'm looking forward to. Don't bomb. Being in US territory always gives Kevin a most special power. I hope the gods decide not to bless him this time. Thank you for keeping that bad bolero. My hater heart loves it. Just how funny would it be if Francois ended up higher in the GP standings and overall score? It would be hilarious if Francois goes to the Olympics and not Kevin. Off with the apologies, in with the youngsters! The GP final is off the question with his 10th place finish. If things go well, he should be in the top 5. Jason is finally here, doing a throwback to his first Olympic program, Reel Around the Sun. Apparently, we will have at least one in each discipline, but Jason's has stood the test of time. The only one that could arguably compete is Korean Lee Seung-hyun. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name, who will be fighting for Korea's second spot. Jason Brand is the only one capable of receiving high components not tied to his tech. At World Team Trophy, he won his section by skating clean. While I don't expect him to win here or medal, he's certainly good with a personal best. However, last year he had a low start to the season, and so it might be the same phenomenon this year since he hasn't beaten 260 yet. But we're here for the skating, not for the jumps. At least when it comes to Jason. The besties Nikolai Memola and Cory Circelli are also coming here. You know, it was a lie that I don't care about this lineup because I kind of care, I just don't really care about the contenders. But anyway, Nikolai was not perfect at Skate Canada to my mom's dismay. The judges were not at all behind him compared to last season. He is a true actor on the ice, thus should get high scores in interpretation. Does that happen? Seldom. I got a kick out of Cory's short program from last year at Universidad. I found this Italian team very performative, but in the good way. The best he's ever skated was in 2024 in Nepala Memorial, breaking 230. His usual scores are slightly below or above 200. Above 230 lies Tatsuya, that has the terrible Japanese illness of good shorts, struggles in the free. He's having issues scoring above 235 ever since nationals. If he wants another shot at the international team, not even the Olympics, I think he's gonna beat Kazuki. Litvinses with the best programs of his career, still needs more emotion when he skates, but at least his programs are more cohesive than last year, or the year before that, or the one before. 6th at Cup of China with a score of 222. Usually strong in tech, but has an eternal beef with Chris. Two gorgeous skaters are at the bottom of my list who I hope rank much higher than any expectation. The first, Dai Wei Dai, the greatest Niven in the circuit and whose crossovers I could stare at for hours. Crushing pressure of outperforming Boyang in Cup of China. Unfortunately, he did not deliver at all, not even able to break the 200 points. Dai, perhaps you won't go to the Olympics, but let's have a good season, okay? The second gorgeous skater is Lian Kapeikis. Kapeikis? When are we getting audio files in the ISU website so we know how to say their names? He is coming back to the GP after 2 years. He was pushing to seniors too quickly, methinks. Now he looks more polished and maybe more centered. No quad, so he will have to go for the quality. His last competition was pretty clean at Nebelhorn and saw him at his best of 227. And now, my favorite discipline. You know which one. The US teams that would have killed for a third spot are here, pending Alysa getting her nationality. Along with McVick Barman, these are the people in the conversation. From the junior class of 2025, Juan Flores are debuting in the circuit. Their personal best of 166 is too low to compete in this field. Plus, it was achieved at Junior Worlds 2 years ago, where they were second behind Metelkina Freak. Juan Flores are here to gain experience, so don't be too harsh on them. Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez are finally back after a season out due to injury. A month ago, they broke their personal best with 179. Valentina has expressed the most depressive thing I have heard in a long time. Their pair elements, namely their lifts, are some of the best in the discipline. Seldom are they rewarded. Wanna know what judges have told them as to why? Because they look too easy. You heard that right. They have such command of their lifts that they look easy. Therefore, they are not rewarded. How unbelievably stupid is that? What do they want them to do? Fall? Be slow? It's so ridiculous my brain cannot compute. Emily Chan and Spencer Akira Howe are doing back-to-back events. They finished 2 points behind Efimova Mitrofanov, and in my opinion, they are the most likely pair to go to the Olympics or at least fight for the coveted ticket to Milano. From North America as well, Laurie and Estier are trying to claim a higher standing since Skate Canada did not pan out. They struggle in the salchout boys side-by-sides and throws. Their components also suffered as a consequence. And much like Juan Flores, they are here to gain experience and start growing into their skating, even if they are not contenders for medals. Annika Hoke and Robert Kunkel are on their second assignment. Finished 6th at the Deep Cup of China, they skated much better than last year, and the spot in my heart was sad because it was only enough for a 6th place. But rationally, it made sense. They have lively programs, although they lack the stamina in China, notably in their lifts and dismounts, and have not been looking great. I'll continue rooting for them, but more importantly that they stay healthy. The pair that I underestimated once but never again, Akapova, Rakamanin. I didn't think they were gonna be contenders for an Olympic spot, but they were. They train alongside Miniki and Yunasumi, throw so gigantic you will believe she's gonna crash, only to be surprised by her actually landing. Solid elements, solid programs, they might just surprise us. In their last 2 competitions, they scored 186 and 188, so consistent might also be in the conversation. Metelkina Freak only need to medal to get into the final. Riku Ryu also need to medal and their spot will be guaranteed. That makes Conti, Machi, Diana and Maxim, Riku Ryu, Metelkina, Berulava finalists. Miniki will likely get a ticket next week as long as they are first or second, while the last spot will be disputed between Pavlova Sviatchenko, who has already skated, Kamoshea, Yunasumi, and Shan Huang. So far, Riku Ryu have the highest score of the circuit, but it will be an interesting battle between the consistent Georgian team and the Japanese. The beloved women category will feature a weakened field since those who we believe were the strongest, namely Wakaba, are not in their best shape. Alysa Liu is of course the favorite with a score of 212 at Cup of China and a silver. Hopefully her Gaga program is better now and she'll show it, otherwise I'll be very sad. Alongside her, the other only potential finalist is Rinka Watanabe. Having landed 2 out of 3 triple axels must have given her so much confidence. A silver would potentially get her to the final. A win the pass. At the moment, Kaori sits comfortably in first, then Ami with a gold and a bronze. Moni and Amber will fight for gold next week, that would also be 28 points, unlike Kaori. Rion is a bone of contention, since she has the 4th highest score in the circuit and could take the win from Moni or Amber, or even worse, push them to 3rd. Therefore, Rinka must be first or second to avoid a tiebreaker with any of these 3 girls. My girl, Laranaki Goodman, could get into the finish podium once again in this field. She finished 5th in Canada and a great score of 192 despite mistakes in the free. 3rd in the short. I love how creative the team is, and how unafraid she is to be different. Lara, my girl, you're going to the Olympics. Her biggest rival will be Gubanova, 4th in China and 5 points ahead of Lara's score in Canada. She has started the season strong, with capital letters, 197, 203 and 206 so far. If she can keep this rhythm, she's gonna be the queen of Europe again. Chaeyoung Kim is the skater I want to put ahead of everyone, but my brain says 4th. The Koreans are just slow to take flight, alright? 6th Aaron Gers with her lowest score in 2 years. If she's back in shape and tough it out, she should win. However, injury seems to be creeping up on her. The target here is to score above Heian Lee. Questionable morals and bad behavior, Heian Lee has not had a calamity skate, but the tech panel appears to be much less lenient with her under rotations and components. I must say that her siren short is unfortunately good. 2 Japanese women are way too low in this list. Wakaba Higuchi, who is in her last season battling injury, and Hana, who has lost all of her consistency, but has a triple axel, but cannot seem to land standalone competition. Hana hitting her programs could mean a medal, but the Fed has deserted her, so her components won't be high. Wakaba, who's never been in the Fed's good graces for who knows what reason, will aim for a clean skate, but it really depends on the severity of her injury. Last year, I wouldn't have believed you that these two were battling for top 6 instead of, gold. But here we are. Leah Serna will need to pull through with a great skate to get friends to look at her after Loreen skated her heart out in Angers. 164 was Leah's score and 10th in the standings. She's got 2 very good programs. The under rotations are being the detriment. Admittedly, I'm not a fan of Ekaterina Kurakova. I know she's a fan favorite, but she's not mine. Last year, her programs were in contention for my most disliked across disciplines. She has better programs this season, but I don't find her performance convincing. Her average score circumvents 165, while her personal best dates from Euros in 2022. 204. Big difference. Everyone say, welcome to the senior ranks, Josephine Lee. Lovely lines on the rotation prone and issues with the flip. Last season she skated to classic Shakira, so she has all my respect. Star Andrews, also from the US, struggles with consistency the most out of everyone here. In one season, going from 190 to 150 and then back to 170. She's a great performer though. Cross your fingers, we'll get to see Alysa Gaga versus Star Yonce. Only one more Grand Prix to go! Who do you want to see at the Grand Prix Final? Comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Sometimes I'm reminded that I'm from a warm country. I am freezing and it's 15 degrees Celsius.